So AI search has taken over. No one's searching Google anymore. All of your traffic is from ChatGPT and Perplexity, and nothing's coming from Google, right? But have you actually checked your analytics to see how much traffic is coming from AI search and how much is coming from Google organic still? Well, I'm going to explain that topic and more, including how to set up reporting for that. But before I do, definitely subscribe to my channel. Make sure you don't miss any of my videos. Okay, so last week I published a post after a series of events led me to actually dig into see across clients how much traffic is coming from AI search, meaning ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Copilot, Gemini, etc. So it really started with, and I'm just going to go down, this is my post, which you can read. It's right on my site, gsqi.com. But I talk about a recent conversation I had with an IT executive at a party I was at. And this is kind of like the trend that keeps happening. You know, I'm out, I'm talking to people, they find out what I do, and before you know it, we're talking about the demise of Google, how OpenAI and ChatGPT are taking over. And of course, it's with people that are smart people, but they're not really neck deep in this, right? So they read articles, you know, a lot of the news has been about the demise of Google because everybody wants that. But no one's really basing that on data, at least from a traffic standpoint. Now, I want to make it clear, AI search is here, it's growing, it's important, but things have kind of gotten out of control with, you know, basically the death of Google at this point. So anyway, we were talking, and he was talking about, you know, everything that he had read, and, you know, basically the death of Google. And I said, you know what, how much traffic do you think is coming from AI search to most websites? And he thought for a second, and he said, I don't know, 30 or 40%. And that's when I knew that the news has gotten a little bit out of control. Because in reality, the studies have shown that it was under 1% of traffic to most websites is coming from AI search. Now, I decided to check on this on my own I have access to a lot of client data, and I decided to dig in and really do this. I'm going to explain more about what I found in a minute. But before I do that, I want to talk about this amazing tutorial that I found from Dana DiTomaso. So Dana is awesome. She focuses heavily on Google Analytics and Google Analytics 4, which, you know, is kind of a mess. But if you really know what you're doing, you can still get some powerful reports set up and data from it. And she had this YouTube video I found and blog post, and it was about how to report on traffic from AI tools. And I had some things set up based upon what some other people have written, and it was okay, not great. But what she set up, which was brilliant, was a channel group for AI search. And when you set up a channel group, now you can suddenly see trending from the entire group over time and not just specific sources. Although you could dig into those specific sources as well, really setting this up as a channel group opened up this wealth of opportunity for seeing what's going on with different sites from an AI search perspective. So in my post is that YouTube video, so I highly recommend you set this up. And when you set it up, I think you're going to see what I see, because I've set this up across a lot of different sites, really huge sites, medium-sized sites, small sites, niche news sites, niche bloggers, whatever it may be. I have this set up across a lot of sites. And what I have found is that it is under 1%. On average for AI search traffic leading to sites. But what was even more shocking is most were under 0.5%. Okay, so this idea that from a traffic standpoint in July 2025 that AI search has completely taken over and Google's dead is crazy. Okay, so if traffic is how you make money, and it's the way a lot of sites are making money and generating revenue, you do not want to suddenly just shift everything and start focusing on AI search. You should look at AI search and start looking at it and analyzing it and seeing where you show up, what your visibility is and everything like that. But don't change everything to focus on that when almost all of your traffic is coming from Google organic search. And when I say Google organic search, I mean across Google surfaces, right? So that's Google News, Discover, Google Web Search, Google Images, Video Mode, which is the video tab, the News tab in search, all of this encompasses Google. And by the way, AIOs, so AI overviews, and AI mode would be lumped in with this as well, kind of off of web search, right? So you have all of that. That's where most of traffic's coming from. All of the data shows that it's less than 1%, and for most it's under 0.5%. So you should definitely do that. So what I did was I took 4 different sites, very different types of sites, and showed what this reporting, using Dana's tutorial, what this looks like, right? So let's go through. The first is a B2C site, large site. So this is over the past, I believe it was 9 months. It might have been 12 months, whatever it may be. So organic search, 45.4 million users over that time frame, which was 44% of traffic. AI search all the way down at the bottom, 19,433 visits, which is 0.02%. Okay. Now you can see, again, through Dana's reporting, that you could see the trending of this, which is cool. And you could see trending for AI search is up, but it's still minuscule compared to Google organic. Here's organic search, which is mostly Google. As you can see, it's strong and stable, and it's way, way, way more than AI search. The next site was a news publisher. It was a niche publisher, 1.3 million sessions from organic search, which is 37% of traffic. AI search, 22,000 sessions, just 0.61% of traffic. Again, trending, AI search up, but still a tiny fraction of total traffic. And here's organic search, strong and driving most of the traffic. Next site, health and medical site, 4.2 million users over the time frame. AI search, just 6,400 users, or 0.13%. Again, trending for them, trending actually with AI search isn't really up that much. It's not showing like the others. It's up a little bit. And then, of course, organic search, very strong, way, way more than AI search. And again, I'm not saying AI search is not important, and it's going to continue to grow, that's for sure. But do not switch everything to suddenly focus on something that is a minuscule piece of traffic for you. And for the fourth site, this was a smaller site focused on a niche vertical. 18,000 visits, 37% from organic search, just 448 visits, or 0.91%. Again, trending up, but still tiny. Organic search, rock solid, and driving most of the traffic. So as you can see, Google Organic is just driving most of the traffic. So if that's how you generate revenue, which a lot of sites are through advertising, e-commerce, obviously, subscriptions, whatever it may be, this is where you're getting your traffic. So the beauty of this is you could follow this tutorial, and if you understand GA4, you could set this up in less than 10 minutes. I'm going through it in like 4 or 5 minutes setting it up because I'm very familiar with it right now. Whenever I'm setting it up for a new client, set it up and see what it is for your site, and then communicate that, right? Make sure people understand where in July 2025, where most of your traffic's coming from. My guess is it's going to be organic search, with most of that being Google organic. And then, there's a lot of talk about, doing this versus that for LLMs and AI search versus Google search and versus Bing and so on and so forth. That's not really true. There's a lot of people that have rushed in and said you need to do X, Y, and Z for LLMs. It's super important, blah, blah, blah. Well, a lot of that's unproven, number one. And number two, search signals and search systems are still really strong and correlate really well with, rankings in ChatGPT and Perplexity and Gemini. And when these systems use RAG, right, they're actually tapping into rankings from search engines, right? So Gemini with Google, ChatGPT partly through Bing, Perplexity through Bing, and now it's building its own search systems, right? So authority matters. Still, all of this still matters. So again, you don't want to suddenly shift and start doing, very specific things that are out of the ordinary from an SEO perspective to rank in LLMs when, number one, that's unproven, and number two, the side effect could be you could hurt yourself in Google Organic and Bing Organic and lose all of that traffic, right? Let's say if you get hit by an algorithm update. Right now, we have a broad core update rolling out. I think that with the broad core update rolling out, I've been sharing about this on social media, but there's some huge swings like we see during most broad core updates. So I think site owners may be realizing, the ones that are dropping heavily, like, we should not ignore Google search, right? I mean, because as I explained in my post here, and by the way, before I get into that, Lily Ray wrote a great post on LinkedIn talking about how, the recommendations that a lot of people are saying for GEO and AEO and everything like that were basically what you should have been doing anyway if you had a really solid SEO strategy, right? I totally agree. Actually, Rand Fishkin also wrote a great post pretty much echoing that. So you should read both of those. I linked to them in my post. But back to ignoring Google search. If you get hit by an algorithm update, because let's say you start, mining every possible variation of a topic and writing about it, or, just ignoring quality on your site because you're so focused on ChatGPT or Perplexity, and let's say you get hit by a broad core update, that will impact all surfaces across Google. So let's go through them, and I do that here. So let's start with, sure, AIOs can be impacted. So AI overviews, featured snippets, AI mode, which is brand new, and it's the future of search. Obviously, web search, image search, video search, the news tab, Google News, Google Discover, which if you're a media publisher or a news publisher can drive massive amounts of traffic. All of this can be dragged down if you get hit by a broad core update as Google reevaluates quality, right? So don't ignore Google. It can end up really badly. And what I really explain is, it could take months to recover from a broad core update or even more, depending on how bad the situation is. So you don't want to get into that situation where suddenly you're like, okay, we dropped by 60% or 40% or whatever it may be. And now we need to, basically scour the site, figure out all the quality problems, fix those problems, implement those fixes, let Google see that over the long term, and hopefully come back during a future broad core update, right? So just don't ignore quality, don't ignore Google search. And I just want to emphasize that AIOs are an extension of search, right? So you absolutely could be impacted in AI ranking and AI overviews if you're impacted by an algorithm update. And a lot of people don't realize this, but AI mode is very similar. As you can see, Google's documentation explains AI mode is rooted in our core quality and ranking systems, okay? So you can absolutely drop out of ranking in AI mode if you get hit by an algorithm update. So that is what my post covered. Again, the takeaways are: set up the reporting, follow Dana's tutorial. It's great and very clear. Should take you less than 10 or 15 minutes to set it up. Check out how much traffic is coming from AI search versus Google organic and organic search. Make sure people in your organization understand that. Don't ignore Google search. Don't ignore quality. You don't want to get hit by a broad core update and then have to try and implement fixes to recover from that update. AI search is definitely important. I'm not saying it's not. You definitely should look at that and try and gain visibility from that. My latest post, by the way, was about how we need AI search consoles, what I'm calling it. And I'm hoping OpenAI and ChatGPT and Perplexity and Copilot and Claude, they all come out with this, which would be Google Search Console like reporting and functionality for AI search. That would be amazing because everybody's flying blind in AI search. So AI search is important, but don't ignore Google. So that's it. You should definitely check out my post. I'll provide it in the description on YouTube. Ping me on social media or email me with your thoughts if you want. If you have questions about that. If you have questions about setting up that reporting, I could definitely help you there, although it's pretty clear from Dana's tutorial how to set that up. And that's it. So I'll be covering the broad core update that's rolling out soon in video. We're not that far into it. There's a lot going on, but I don't want to cover that yet until some more time goes on. So until then, I appreciate you watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon.